The Decode The Heart Samsara, an infinite breath between the realms of rebirth. Author, a master of Dharma Energy teacher in Zen and Tantric traditions. Even before the Big Bang exploded, there was a breath so soft, not belonging to anyone, but of the nature void awakening. Not a light, a breath. Dharma Energy is not something added later, not an external mystical power sent to rescue it. It is the very ground up, all phenomena formless, immeasurable, without need for power or source. In the Avatamsaka Sutra, the world is portrayed as layers of dependent arising ever-overlapping waves. Yet one thing remains untouched by all conditions. The Zamanatro Sukness immovable. When a practitioner enters true meditation, they no longer perceive themselves sitting in this bodhi. A quiet vibration opens soft, luminous, tranquil. That is Dharma Energy. Neither hot nor cold, not high or low, yet it is enough to illuminate a whole life shrouded in confusion. Chapter Mode, the universe at first breath. Mode, the universe doesn't begin with something, but with its vibration. Quantum physicists like Stephen Hawking, Mark Tegmark, and Roger Penrose have acknowledged that what lies before the Big Bang lies beyond the language of current mathematics. In existing models, time equals zero is a singularity, where physical laws no longer apply. Then at that singular point, what was vibrating to give rise to time? Tantric Buddhism proposes an intrinsic self-arising energy, svapiva spanda, an internal vibration rooted in the self-nature. Before any physical energy, there lay an invisible field of vibration not coming from anyone, but from which all forms eventually arise. In the Lankavatara Sutra, mind essence neither arises nor perishes, but when used, it manifests. In other words, no energy generates itself unless rooted in a platform that initiates it. Emptiness is not nihilism but a still, luminous, responsive foundation. That is the first breath, the first vibration of the nature void. The first breath is the harmony of knowing and not knowing. String theory suggests that every piece of matter from quarks to electrons is a vibrating energy string. Their individuality comes from their unique frequencies. In Zen Buddhism, that frequency is the expression of the mind nature. It is not the discerning mind, but the silent, self-illuminating mind essence. In deep meditation you may realize, there's a breath that neither lungs nor nose create, but breathes on its own. That is life energy beyond form. When great awakened ones lie the Bodha Onkya, or Maverokana Tathgata, enter deep Samsi, they perceive the universe not as existing but breathing impersonally. Every phenomenon lacks a self-light ripples on an infinite sea. This first breath is the melding of absolute knowing and absolute non-knowing, where knowing needs no object and non-being no longer opposes being. In Tantric scripture, the first breath is the sound A. In the Vajrayana tradition, there is a primal vowel Sam, or the non-arisana. It symbolizes the unformed potential that contains all possibilities. The sound is not shaped by tongue or lips. It emerges from an open, relaxed throat. It is the first breath, formless yet foundational to all subsequent sound. In the Maverokanastra, the syllable A signifies the Dharma Bodhi of the Buddha without beginning, yet the source of every phenomenon. When Tantric practitioners chant mantras, they do not just vocalize, they feel the vibration of Bodhi, mind and Dharmati merging into oneness. At that moment they experience the creative energy of the entire universe. Modern science and the primordial vibration. Modern physics recognizes that all fundamental forces, gravity, electromagnetism, strong and weak nuclear forces, propagate as waves. This echoes the Vimalakirti Sutra. All zamas are lie illusions, images, echoes, and waves ungraspable. The primordial Gui in Tantra does not emanate outward, but inward, and since there is neither a sender nor receiver, it remains a vibration in stillness. Contemporary quantum models propose that space itself is a vibrating quantum field vacuum fluctuations, where even in absolute emptiness, subatomic vibration persists. This parallels the Buddhist notion of nature void arising from silent knowing. The meditator can touch that first breath. You may never have read the Maverokanastra. You may not understand quantum physics, yet if you've ever sat completely still, so still you cease wanting anything, you might notice a strange sense. I'm not breathing, yet still alive. No wind blows, yet something circulates within. No one touched me, yet I sense a silent river of light. That is the connection with the universe first breath. In the Diamond Sutra, the Buddha teaches, if one sees me by form or seeks me by sound, one is following the wrong path. Tathagata cannot be seen with form. He only appears when you let go of all notions, all intentions, all deliberate breathing. Then the universal breath begins to breathe you. Summary, that breath is still breathing within you. The universe's first breath is not a past moment, but unfolding now. Each release of attachment is a return to that breath. Each silence amid life's rush is breathing with the cosmos. And when you feel no need to act but stand in harmony with all, you have touched the primal source of all phenomena. You don't breath or lie, but lie to remember that you breathe with all. Applied meditation. Name, breath of formlessness. Duration, 15 minutes each morning. Practice. 1. Sit upright, body completely relaxed. 2. Do not focus on the breath through the nose, simply sense that the body is being breathed. 3. Feel in the belly the place where the vibration originates. 4. Do not act, only witness. 5. If distracting thoughts arise, silently say formless and return to sensing the root vibration. Result, purification of cell energy, awakening your primordial energy stream. Chapter 2, Igi Niyate, the invisible power. All forms are illusory. To see all forms as non-form is to see the Tathagata. Diamond Sutra. Not nothingness, beute una beo una dene et. In daily life we fear the word nothing. No money, no fame, no love, no belonging. We associate nothing with loss, a hollow, undesirable state. But in Buddhism, Anyati, emptiness is not absence, but a pure and complete nature, unstained, unbound by any concept. Emptiness is synonymous with liberation. It is the foundational space in which all phenomena rise, lie a blank screen where every image is projected. Without that screen, no image could be perceived. But once we cling to the image, we forget the ground. Iyati is awareness without grasping, presence without clinging, clarity without bondage. Hi, quantum physics and emptiness. Modern physicists from Albert Einstein to David Bohm have discovered something extraordinary. Matter has no independent essence. Electrons, protons, photons do not exist as fixed entities, they appear only when observed, and that observation itself alters the outcome. This is known as the uncertainty principle and quantum field theory. The universe is not a static set of objects, but a vibrating field, where matter is merely a temporary result of energetic fluctuation. This resonates deeply with the Prajnaparamita Sutra. Form is not different from emptiness. Emptiness is not different from form. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. Form is appearance. Emptiness is essence. What appears is not fixed. It is a result of conditions. Where all things are conditional and impermanent, there lies inyati. Ba. Emptiness not meaningless it beyond definition. Some misunderstand emptiness as nihilism or detachment from life. The truth is the opposite. Inyayai is the foundation for the fullest engagement with life. Because you are not tied to a fixed identity, you can adapt fluidly to all situations. Because you are not attached to outcomes, you can act wholeheartedly without fear. Because you no longer place yourself at the center, you begin to see the entire world breathing with you. Emptiness is invisible, yet not useless. Precisely because it is empty, it holds everything. Lie a hollow vessel, whatever is poured in fits. Lie space every light can pass through. Lie the wind formless, yet flowing through every realm. The practical power of emptiness in modern life, mood stress relief and calm. Instead of clinging to roles, names, or goals, Inyati teaches that nothing is fixed. Relaxation doesn't mean giving up, but letting go of the self that wants to control everything. Hi, improved relationships. We suffer when we expect others to conform to our ideals. Emptiness allows you to embrace others as they are without judgment or caution. Ba, foundation for creativity. Emptiness allows for new thinking, new ways free from the chains of old patterns. Every great invention is born from a mind that is open and unburdened. Born, the root of healing. When we see that body, mind, and emotions have no fixed essence. We are no longer trapped in the idea that my pain is me or my wounds define me. We realize suffering is only a mist drifting through a sky-up emptiness. Nam, in meditation, emptiness cannot be found. Many practitioners try to attain emptiness, but the more they seek, the more it eludes them. Because inyat cannot be grasped, cannot be made into an object of mind. You can only return to it, not acquire it. Once you stop seeking, stop grasping, stop clinging to the idea of meditating, you are already living in emptiness. No need to touch, no need to know, yet still breathing with every breath. No need to have, no need to lack, yet living the truest life. Practical meditation. Emptiness, iete nothing missing. Let go of all labels. Tham, 2 minutes daily. Practice. 1. Sit still, breath naturally. 2. Watch each emotion, each thought arise. Do not fight, do not follow. But whenever you notice a mental label, I'm this kind of person, silently say, unneeded. 4. Just sit, no doing, no striving for a result. 5. Become the one ve kept hat or witnesses, but is nothing. Effect softens the mind, dissolves identity concepts, heals from the root. Inyat is not a void, but the foundation of lightness. Unborn, it needs no defense, yet births and dissolves the cosmos. It clings to none, yet births all shapes. It holds nothing, yet anchors the firmest ground. Not me, not other, a shimmering reflection across an illuminated stream. Not wind, not sky, but where wind rests at twilight. Not sound, not silence, yet birthing 1,000 voiceless songs. When we kept heart or life sincerely, not clinging, not demanding, not forgetting, is one we kept heart or truly endures, even without fame or gain, yet becoming most deeply oneself. Sometimes to release is to bloom. Sometimes only the hollow forms hold the strongest shape. So fear not the emptiness, for it is the bridge across all delusion. Chapter 3. Where energy needs nozer esse hat azager inager. 1. Ve kep hat izor ve kep seek to recharge. In today's world, everyone talks about recharging morning coffee, midday yoga, power naps, mindfulness apps, weekend retreats. These are all reasonable, yet they are built on an assumption that we are lacking, that each day drains you at, and we must find something to fill you up. But there exists a kind of energy that needs no input, only a return. It is foundational energy, not dependent on food, sleep, praise, or silence. It doesn't come from outside in, but flows from inside out. It doesn't run on calories, glucose, or dopamine, but on self-knowing. The forgotten source within you. Biologically, the body functions through its own internal systems. Cellular respiration, blood circulation, neural signals, heartbeat rhythms. None of these wait for our commands. They operate day and night without exhaustion. They don't ask wet for energy, because energy arises naturally from the vitality within. Likewise, in the spiritual dimension, there is a living force that does not require recharging. You don't need to feel confident to be alive. You don't need to love yourself to be worthy. You don't need results to deserve peace, because you are the source. What does the Hat Aroma say about inherent energy? In Tantric and Zen Buddhism, the ultimate aim isn't to meditate to gain something, but to meditate to cease the search. The Buddha does not give you energy. He points out that we never truly lost it. In the Iragamastra, the Buddha asked Inanda, does the ability to hear, see, understand, and perceive come from the ears, eyes, heart, or organs? Inanda could not answer. The Buddha said, that which hears is not something that comes or goes. It is always whole. True energy doesn't lie in what we cling to, but in what we let go of. Bonen science anner de this error or bo inner this state. Modern quantum physics discovered a strange phenomenon. Even in absolute vacuum, there exists vibrational activity called zero-point energy. That is, when nothing remains, something still stirs. Spiritually, this mirrors the state where all identity, desire, lack, and need have dissolved, and yet there remains a living awareness. This knowing is uninterrupted, undiminished, and needs no recharging. Nam, vekep hat izor vekep feel tired. Because we re not tired from working, we retired from resisting what is happening. Not tired from giving, but from wanting something in return. Not tired from moving, but from feeling we've never arrived. We exhaust ourselves trying to hold roles, mask appearances, validation. But when we no longer have to be someone, that natural force awakens. The place where energy needs no fuel, yet where you are whole. There is a place nameless, yet near. Not the sky, but light as the wind. Not a meditation hall, but still as silence. No need to go, yet it opens the heart. That place is the moment you stop evaluating yourself. No need to be right. No need to be understood. Just breathing without assigning meaning to each breath. By meditation practice, needing nothing, iete fully present. Name, sitting without fuel. Duration, 15-20 minutes. Practice, một sit upright, eyes closed, hands relaxed, no mudra or ritual pose. 2. Do not focus on the breath, do not control rhythm. 3. Sit simply, lie someone vek hat or needs nothing to be at peace. 4. When thoughts arise, don't push them away. Just see them and let them pass. 5. Return to the feeling. I am here without reason, without task. Result, activates primordial NI centers, enhances nervous system recovery, reduces stress, increases creativity. Poetic reflection. There's a place you don't have to search, yet it feels like breathing through the heart of all beings. Sometimes no words are spoken, yet the sky unceasing through you. No need to gain, no need to go, no thirst for victory, no clinging to desire. Yet from that quiet mystery, a wondrous power flows endlessly. No fear of illusion, no chase for name, no definition needed, no chains to break. Not rejecting darkness, yet always luminous on your own path, even when dry, even when drained. Emptiness still overflows with life. When you release every struggle, you return to the source overflowing. You. Chapter 4, Etloa, et ama adehati, peasnicidi. 3 hat azam ona your wet waves of energy. Mut morality meditation. Wisdom are not moral codes. Beyutezer ego ula ate orji energies. In Buddhist tradition, sla, ethics, samhi, concentration, and pamzi, wisdom, are the 3 core elements of spiritual development. Over time, however, they've been misunderstood as sla as rigid moral rules, samchi as forced stillness, panim as intellectual learning. In truth, these are 3 layers of subtle energy constantly interacting like electricity, magnetism, and light. When rightly aligned, they not only lead to awakening, but also restore vitality, clarity, and grounded resilience in everyday life. Haidla, the stabilizing field of pure energy. What is sla? In Pali, sla means natural regulation. It is not external restraint, but an inner power to stay aligned with one's authentic nature. Sla is not about punishment. It is a stabilizing frequency. Sla is like a breakwater preventing negative waves from breaking the integrity of your inner world. To uphold precepts is to prevent your essential energy from leaking through greed, anger, and delusion. Why do those vikephat olai ethically feel healthier? According to neuroscience, those vikephat olai deceive or act unethically activate anxiety centers in the brain, releasing cortisol, a fatigue and stress-inducing hormone. Conversely, those vikephat olai truthfully and with integrity release gamma waves, enhancing memory, learning, and natural recovery. In essence, sla is a foundational frequency, a calm base upon which higher energies can arise. Baet ama odehat I, the gay that I is still, iete all-embracing. Mot samji is not forcing stillness, but melting into stillness. Samchi means gatheredness, non-distraction. It is not about enduring mental silence with strain, but about returning to a natural state, non-resisting, non-agitated. Lie a still lake undisturbed by wind reflecting the moon in full clarity. In Samti, the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems balance, the analytical brain quiets, and the silent consciousness awakens. Samchi is the cradle of insight. Without Samsi, wisdom is just intellectual. Without Samhi, the mind is driven by habit, attachment, and fear. Without Samchi, spiritual energy flows aimlessly. When Samhi deepens, heart rate slows, breath becomes barely perceptible, brain waves shift into theta or gamma, deep meditative states. The sense of I dissolves, only spacious, luminous awareness remains. Bốn Pia Chem Vivi, the light that illuminates the day hat as a Ariam. Một, wisdom is not vast knowledge, but clear seeing. Pani means seeing things as they are. It doesn't come from hearing much or memorizing well, but from silently observing the inner workings of body, mind, and world. When wisdom arises, the practitioner no longer clings to appearances, words, or feelings, but sees the impermanence, selflessness, and interdependence of all things. Wisdom is the light that turns even mistakes into teachings, even suffering into awakening. Hai, Panim discerns illusion from reality. It helps Uet recognize reactivity, mindfulness, differentiate veiled ambition from pure aspiration, see whether speech wounds or hells. Without Pangu, we are easily misled by praise or blame, lost in life's dualities. None three waves flow together. True wisdom cannot arise without Sla, because a chaotic mind blocks clarity. Deep Samti cannot grow without Sla, because turbulence persists. Stable Sla cannot last without Pani, because without understanding, we do not know why we uphold At. Sla is the ground. Samchi is the calm. Pana is the light. Together, they form a pure, steady energy field unshaken amidst chaos. So applying Etla Etama Adehat PRC9 VV in modern life, situations Sla, ethics Samhi, calmness, Pant, Insai. Workplace communication, speak truth. Notable speak, stay composed. When misunderstood, recognize your emotions and others. Financial management, no greed or deceit, unshaken by fear or lack, no contentment and healthy restraint. Parenting, no shouting, no anger, don't react to child's behavior, understand root causes and teach wisely. Therapy, va healing, let go of resentment, sit with emotions without judgment, see suffering as part of life, not your fault. Practical meditation, three waves in motion. Name, stabilize, still, illuminate. Duration, 30 minutes, 10 for each. Face mode Sla. Reflect silently on the numb precepts. Did I harm anyone today? Was I truthful? Is there anything to repent? Face high, Samsi. Sit quietly. Don't interfere. Just breathe and release. Face ba, Pania. Observe what the mind is thinking without judgment. Silently ask, where does this thought arise from? Then let it go. Result, cleanses inner energy, activates intuition, and nurtures a harmonious life. Poetic reflection. These waves can be touched by hand. Yet those vikephat o listen, awaken amidst life. One guards the stream from collapse. Two remain still, never leaving the true heart. Three is a quiet light, shining deep within, turning mistakes into insight. These waves don't come from rivers, but from the peace blended into mountain winds. Guard the heart from struggle, purify speech from excess. Let the breath fall like rain, without wetting the robe, without excess. Let the eyes not divide, let the mind not select, and yet still be free. Sla is the root, Samchi is the refuge, Panjin is the eternal light. Chapter 9, Transforming Karma. Not erase, beuteja ano etma ute. Mut karma ayet not punishment, beutea flow of energy. In popular belief, karma is often seen as payback, a punishment for wrongdoings in past lives or past days. But Buddhism doesn't teach that. Karma literally means intentional action, every thought, word, and deed born of deliberate mind leaves behind energy known as karmic force. When you speak harshly, the energy of anger doesn't vanish, it leaves a trace in the brain, the nervous system, and your emotional field. And when the right conditions arise, that imprint returns not to punish you, but to give you a chance to transform it. Karma doesn't dare come to kill you. It comes to show you yourself. and they turn suffering into a doorway. Karma functions like a way up transmitted energy. Karma is not a divine accountant keeping score. It is the natural law of mental energy in motion. What karma begins in consciousness. Whenever a thought arises, however small, the nervous system reacts, emotions stir, cells record the state, behavior repeats into patterns, and each time something similar happens, you respond the same even unconsciously. That's how karma becomes a spiritual habit. High karma doesn't vanish, but it can shift form. The Avatamsaka Sutra says, beings take form according to karma. Light shadows follow form, not a hair's difference. But it also teaches, when one sees karma as illusion, that illusion becomes the bodhisattva path. Meaning, karma still exists, but it no longer rules you. It becomes the fuel for awakening. Ba. Tera ana et ep orama at te ona et not deletion be ute renewal. Practitioners transform karma through three modes. Mode, redirecting karma, guiding the flow. You suffer from old causes, but receive them with mindfulness, no blame, no resistance. Old karma is neutralized instead of generating more. Transmuting karma. When hardship arises, instead of reacting with anger, you meet it with compassion and reflection. The karma becomes a spiritual road. By realizing karma as illusion, you see karma as a mental cloud, not real, not personal, and step outside the cycle. Tera ana et ep orama at te I owner I etner te taking back control. It yet ending the habit of being controlled. Ana de realizing you can choose differently even while in pain. Merode as ana dea I karma alchemy. Present karma, old reaction, new transformation effect. Someone insults you, anger, retaliation, see their pain. Stay silent, karma chain ends. Prolonged poverty, resentment, blame, diligence, do good work, merits accumulate. Repeating failure, shame, quitting, observe pattern, learn the lesson, new potential, unlock. Chronic illness, suffering, confusion, meditate, accept, deep care, strength from within. To seek love, entanglements, pain, regret, reflect, let go, gratitude, inner freedom. Even heavy karma can melt in a single moment. The Dhammapada says, great water washes all dust away. Great wisdom purifies all karma. When you see clearly, truly clearly, that insight can burn through decades of karma, not by erasing, but by transmuting burden into brightness. Karma is shadow, but if you light a spark of awareness, the shadow holds no more power. Sauprakal meditation. Si tera ana etma ute release. Name, breath up, karma transformation. Duration, Hilam minutes. Face mode, recognize karma. Close your eyes. Bring to mind something you are suffering from without labeling it right or wrong. See clearly, this is karma, not me, not anyone's fault. Face high, breath in compassion. On the inhale, whisper, I understand I am hurting. On the exhale, I allow myself to soften. Face ba, let go of habitual response. When thoughts arise, don't resist. Just see and breathe through them. Continue until only stillness remains, warm enough for no blame, bright enough for no fear. Effect, reduces reactive behavior, increases mindful response, gently dissolves karmic knots. Poetic reflection. Karma is not a punisher, but a mirror for self-seeing. Sometimes it is payment for survival. Sometimes just the fog up a knowing. Karma walks beside you at light shadow, while we search endlessly to escape. But once we stop running, stop fearing, we see the shadow is ourselves, close at hand. One glimpse of the whole can ignite light in the heart of suffering. Not deletion, not escape, not destruction, but like a breeze floating through open sky. Sometimes it takes just one breath, one deep reflection, and 1,000 nights dissolve. Then we see, in the darkest realm of sorrow, the Buddha nature begins to rise. The energy of Dharma, we've only just begun. The energy of Dharma is not mere knowledge, it is an endless stream of wisdom and awakening, as gentle as breath, as profound as the cycles of rebirth themselves. And you know what? We've only stepped through the very first doorway of this journey. Part 1 is only the gateway. Ahead lies an entire universe of wonder, waiting to be unveiled, where you'll touch the deepest layers of your consciousness, where truth gradually reveals itself in the light of compassion and clarity. Stay tuned for Part 2, where you will feel the Dharma's breath soaking into every cell, guiding you beyond ignorance, toward the truest awakening of your own being. This journey has just begun. There is so much more waiting for you. Keep the faith and return for Part 2 to continue walking the path of liberation.